It's fall when I'm recording this, so that makes this peak cozy season. Whatever cozy actually means. Are you a fan of feeling cozy in the fall time? Would you want to have a game to match your mood? Well, today I'm reacting to a video from someone who made a cozy game in a day. Now, making a game in a day is not very cozy. That sounds like hard work. But we'll see how the outcome is, if it reflects the work or if it reflects the vision. Let's go.
I've been on a quest to make the most wholesome and cozy Scratch game for the last few months. This probably comes from the fact that I just love cute little games. I mean, who doesn't?
To be honest, most cute little games I find extremely boring. But there's a lot of games that are pretty dark and grimy these days, so it's nice to have some games that are just chill. Just have a good time. Just enjoy yourself.
And partly because I have zero extra free time with me working on my Metroidvania, Dewdrop Dynasty, which you can wishlist on Steam. And with this lack of free time, I've realized Scratch's true superpower.
Oh,
it's the superpower to create fun.
I've never... Oh. See, I'm over here. I feel dumb. I thought he was talking about from Scratch, not in Scratch, the programming language. My bad. Makes sense.
It's the superpower to create fun little games in literally minutes. And with autumn quickly approaching, no free time to spare, what better time than the present to make yet another adorable Scratch game? So let's...
I need to... Okay, that's a good idea. I'll write that down. Try Scratch. Especially with all this Unity crap that's going on, maybe Scratch is a good option.
So let's jump in. That's a pun, as we'll see in a second. For a long time, I've been wanting to make a game that's in the style of Blobby Volley. It's a game that came out back in the early 2000s. It was on Windows. I personally played it on Linux.
You were using Linux in the early 2000s? My man is... I feel like my nerd status just went down significantly. I did not touch Linux in the early 2000s.
And there's something about these multicolored congealed blobs that just makes me happy. Maybe it's the tropical setting, or maybe, just maybe, it's the loud, annoying whistle that I hear every time the AI scores on me. But one thing that's missing from this game is frogs, and I'm gonna fix that.
Yes,
so with my completely original idea in hand, I was ready to start jumping into Scratch and scratching. All right, move on. I started off by giving the player the ability to walk left and right and jump. And it works.
If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to cozy up to the subscribe button as well.
You can actually jump. Then after that, it was pretty easy to make a second player. Look, these guys jump around. They just cheer me up inside. And it was at this point, it was time for me to tackle the hardest part of the whole entire game.
Making it a game.
And that's making the ball physics. Yes, it doesn't seem like much. Yes, it doesn't seem like much, but in Scratch, it's a nightmare. I'm not even gonna...
Oh my word. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cross off my try Scratch. That looks like a pain.
I'm not even gonna try to pretend that I spent forever trying to figure this out. And I just want to give a shout out to the real MVP of this video, and that's Gruppy for making an awesome Blobby Volley game for me to study. So thank you. So after I studied how to make the ball mechanic, I was quickly able to add the collisions so that the players could hit the ball. Now please ignore the fact that the ball has a mind of its own and it's deadly. That will be fixed later on. And at this point, I felt like we had enough to start diving into the artwork.
Oh my goodness, it's Discount Mario. Oh wait, that's actually, never mind. Take that back.
It's personally my favorite part. So I booted up my favorite malware, Adobe Illustrator, and I got started creating a mock-up for what the game would look like. And I feel like my end result almost feels Illustrator. And I got started creating a...
I like these little cute frogs. They remind me a lot of Super Auto Pets. Yeah, this does look like a cozy, fun game.
Mock-up for what the game would look like. And I feel like my end result almost feels like Hello Kitty meets Smash Brothers. I don't know. After that, I exported the SVGs and I started importing them into Scratch. Other than the crazy, unwieldy ball mechanics, the game was already starting to feel pretty complete. But trust me, we got some ways to go. I added some shadows under the frogs, so it felt like they were grounded on the beach. That's how shadows work. And I also added this to the ball as well, because the ball goes off screen and you kind of need to know where it's gonna land. So it was a nice little indicator. And of course, it can't be a beach scene without there being some waves. So I animated the waves with a little sign.
Oh, good old sin and sin of sin value. I'm kidding. Sign value. Wow.
And I think it looks nice. It was around this time I decided to add some sounds, some ocean ambience. I wanted there to be frog croaking randomly, just so it kind of sets the mood. Though I have to say, this one was a little cursed. I added them into the game and...
I wonder if I can make money doing that. Literally just like... Hang on. Literally just like recording myself making animal noises and putting them online. I should try that. Get a little bit of going and just put it up as ba.wave.
I add them into the game and I kind of randomized the sound so it wasn't the same thing over again. Okay, that's a little, okay. Can you please stop? Okay, all right, thank you. I also made it when you jump, you hit the volleyball or the ball hits the ground, it has some sounds as well. So it just feels that much more juicy. Now, speaking of juiciness, not being able to see the ball is not juicy. So I jump back into Illustrator and create this arrow and I implement in the game. So just whenever the
now it is kind of like Smash Bros. To have an arrow to indicate where you are when you're off stage. That's some clever game design right there. Good work. He definitely innovated, and by that I mean stole and then obscured it well enough.
Ball's off screen, it just shows you where the ball's at. At this point, it was getting pretty tricky to tell who's player 1 and player 2, so I made these little indicators, and they're definitely not inspired by Smash Bros. At all. I also wanted to kind of differentiate the two frogs because every frog's unique, you know, and so I just want to express.
I don't think that's true. I've seen frogs that look very similar before. I do not think they're like snowflakes. Let's be real.
So player 2 frog is a little bit more yellowish green because maybe he was a swamp frog. I don't know. Okay, enough polish for now. It's probably smart if I actually finish the scoring system as that's kind of important for this sport. So I create a custom font and I import it into Scratch. I don't know.
Also doesn't remind me of any other game's font. Like maybe a game that's name starts with Super and ends with Smash Bros.
I don't know why, but this always seems like the most time-consuming part of Scratch. After that, I applied the scoring system so it actually keeps track of score. Then I created a win screen so that someone could actually win and the game didn't go on forever. As with every game I work on, there's always things that I want to add, but I just run out of time. Some of those things were adding AI and also hats that you can unlock. I don't know why, just frogs with hats feels like a good.
Oh, that artwork looks so nice though, with the little. Okay, maybe I'm starting to see the cozy game thing. I'm not a cozy guy, but like, just the nice artwork. It looks happy. It doesn't look all depressing. Like we gotta get to the chopper and kill the guy. No, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm chilling on a cool afternoon on a laptop, just kind of messing with the frog.
So hats that you can unlock. I don't know why. Just frogs with hats feels like a good combination. Check it out, play it, and if you like it, maybe you can add those features. Who knows? And more or less, that's kind of it. This game didn't really revolutionize anything whatsoever, but oddly enough...
Oh, he does a little... When the frog gets hit, it does a little animation to make it bigger and make the eyes change. It's the little things. He put a little bit of juice into it.
But oddly enough, I think I just enjoyed the polishing so much. Even the little details of like the frog's face scrunching up when it gets hit, or the subtle sound design, or even the ready, set, go. I mean, it just feels good. And I don't know, there's just something so charming about two frogs on the beach enjoying their last days of summer before the cozy autumn comes. Now, if you want to start learning how to program, you want to check out today's sponsor, Brilliant.
All right, shout out the Brilliant as a sponsor, but I am going to skip forward.
Anywho, Froggy Volley was just a blast to work on. I just got lost in all the little details, and it's so fun to just make it a polished experience and something so quick. And honestly, if you want to get into games and you want to make games quickly and prototype, I think Scratch is a wonderful tool, and it's why I keep coming back to it. Anywho, that's all I have for
Yeah, I've never used Scratch or learned Scratch. I started with everyone's favorite beginner engine, Unity. But this kind of inspires me to check out Scratch. So I might do that. Maybe I'll do some kind of like comparison to see how fast it would be for me to prototype something in Scratch and Unity so I can get an idea of how useful it would be. Anyway, shout out to Goodgis, however you say his name. This is a really cool video, and I thought the game looks really fun. I might actually want to go check out this game and give it a play, and also maybe check out some of those other games in the Cozy Autumn Game Jam that he mentioned in the video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. If you're still watching, thank you. You're one of the very few who watched all the way to the end, or you're listening to this on audio and you're like driving or your hands are wet or something, so you can't skip me. But either way, appreciate you. Go ahead and check out our other videos. We'll see you guys later.